What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard back with another Division 2 video. Today is Tuesday, May 25th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's video, my friends, we're going to be going over the weekly vendor resets for DC, New York, and the Dark Zone. We're going to be talking about the new global event that begins today, and for those of you that would like to skip ahead through all this and just get to the vendors themselves, feel free to go to the 3-minute and 30-second mark. Now, if you happen to be new here, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. We are going to jump right into it today, my friends, starting off with the new Guardians League that begins today. We've seen this league before, and it may not be the most popular. However, when these leagues are active, it is a fantastic time to really get some good items. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention really quick for new and returning players is with global events, you need to activate them. And you can deactivate them at any time, but again, on this screen, you can see there's an activate button in the bottom left corner. Now, in regards to the rewards, it's a typical tier system that we're used to from other events and things like that. However, one of the best things about the global events, in my opinion, is that you gain stars from doing challenges and you gain a star for each shade level you gain. Now, once again, to be clear, you have to have the actual global event activated in order to gain those stars. Many of you have reached out to the channel asking me what's a quick way to earn stars in regards to shade levels, and I will definitely be putting another video out later today. There are two global event vendors in which you can spend your stars at. There's one in the White House, one at Haven. You can see here are your choices. And one thing I want to highlight is for these named item caches, you can get Dark Zone exclusive items from those. And the reason I bring that up, my friends, is because I know of a lot of players that either don't go into the Dark Zone or they've had certain items elude them while they've been farming. This is another way to hopefully get some of the items you've been looking for a while. Next, we have this week's invaded missions. They are Grand Washington Hotel, American History Museum, and the Viewpoint Museum. Clearing those will gain you access to the District Union Arena, and once that's cleared, you will then have access to Tidal Basin. Today is also the day that the weekly projects reset. It gives you 3 great ways to earn exotic caches in the game. You have the weekly summit project, you have the weekly shade requisition, and for those of you that have the ability, you also have the weekly legendary mission. Finally, my friends, before we get into the vendors themselves, I'd like to show you the location of the snitch. I'm in the Federal Triangle by the 1040 Safe House, and for those of you that may not know, finding the snitch is how you gain access to the gunrunner Casio Mendoza, who becomes available every Wednesday. Most of you know by now that the snitch can pop up in different locations of the map. This happens to be my favorite one. What I do is if I show up and he's not here, I just reset my control points. I'm stoked because his legs are there. Typically his legs are missing. So anyway, now let's get into the vendors themselves. For those of you that have seen my vendor resets in the past, I typically rip through these, but for new returning players, things like that, really take your time because you're looking for things that will not only strengthen your character, but your recalibration library as well. Starting off with the White House vendor, we have the Mozambique Special. We have a pretty decent vector right here. We have a assault rifle, not that good. Pretty decent, I guess. Handgun, backpack, body armor, mods, and skill attachments. Now let's make our way to the clan vendor. Let's see what we have today, my friends. Starting off with the Zero F's body armor, I definitely recommend picking this thing up. It's a pretty decent roll, especially if you don't have one, you definitely want to grab this thing. And for those of you that are still looking for Ridgway's Pride, you need to have this in order to craft that item. Below that, we had some Hunter's Fury gloves. We have some ongoing directive knee pads. Let's see what we have. We have a rigger mask right here. Moving down to a handgun. Let's see what the roll is like. Yeah, kind of mediocre. Pretty good there. We have an LMG here, which is pretty nice. Moving on to an AR, SMG under that. Next, we have some body armor. Let's see what we have here. Really nice mask. Definitely grab this up for any of those tank builds you're putting together. This is an awesome mask to have. You're going to re-roll that top stat. Below that, we had a bag and then some mods and skill attachments. Now let's make our way to the campus. Let's see what the vendor has for us this week, my friends. Starting off with the named LMG, Quiet Roar. Pretty decent roll right there. Below that, we have a marksman rifle, another LMG. We have a mask, holster, and I think some mods and skill attachments. Nothing too much here. Now let's make our way to the theater. Hopefully we'll have some better luck at the next vendor. Let's see what we have as we roll up. We have the Firm Handshake named gloves. These are great to own, and while this may not be the best roll, it is definitely something you want to pick up if you don't have it as yet. And once again, my friends, I can't stress this enough. Please take your time when going through these items. You may find something you've been looking for a while. You may find a stat that can, benefit your recalibration library. Actually, real quick, let's scroll back up for a second right here. Like, I can't find any bleed resistant mods when I'm farming, so I'm definitely grabbing some of these. And as we finish up here, we have some more mods and skill attachments and whatnot, but again, it's much better to pick something up, even though it may not be the best role, at least you have it, so in the future, if you can't find others, you can take some time and optimize the one you have. However, once again, just to remind you, keep in mind you cannot optimize mods and skill attachments, it's only weapons and items. Now, getting back to the vendor, we are at Dark Zone West, nothing really to speak of here at this point, and again, I typically only look for items here that are for sale that are Dark Zone exclusive. And as we make our way to Dark Zone South, I want to once again remind you, because the global event is going on right now, you can earn those stars, buy those named caches, and the named caches, again, can have those Dark Zone exclusive items in them. Anyway, getting back to the vendor here, nothing really stands out so far. We had a handgun, SMG, AR, another handgun, backpack. What do we have here? Some body armor, another backpack. Let's see. Yeah, nothing really stands out. Yep, let's keep moving on. Mods and skill attachments. Now let's make our way to Dark Zone East. And as we roll up, let's see what the vendor has for us this week. We have the named Marksman Rifle Pinprick. Meh, pretty okay right there. Again, you have to go through a lot of steps in order to get these DZ, resources, so I tend to try to get anything in the open world that I can. Continuing on, nothing really to speak of yet. As always, finishing up with mods and skill attachments. Let's see what we have here. Anything decent? Not too much. So now let's make our way to the last two vendors in New York. And as I start to wrap this video up, I'd like to take a moment and thank you guys for your amazing support in regards to this channel, and also with a new series that I started doing a few weeks back called Diplomats of the Division. In yesterday's episode, I actually interviewed expert game designer over at the Division, Trick Dempsey. She is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen that interview as yet, I will leave a link down below, and I definitely recommend you check it out. It was an awesome conversation. With that being said, my friends, I actually have to wrap this up. I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. I just realized it's 7:53 a.m. I got to get the kid ready for school, all that good stuff. But again, thank you all so much. As I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, as always, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Glad we could help each other out.
I may not be showing it, but I am weeping tears of joy watching this loom work.